What is going on, everybody? And welcome to another edition of the crossover here presented by Prime Sports World. I'm your host, Israel Rivera, Izzy, and there goes TJ Hopkins. Before we start the show, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast here at Prime Sports World. And in case you missed us, you can catch on all streaming platforms where podcasts can be heard. Um, yeah, so the conference finals, we missed the semis. Conference finals on the way. I guess we didn't miss much in the semis because except for OKC Denver, because
Yeah,
every other series was not competitive. Um,
no, we can touch on them a little bit. I
yes,
just a little bit.
we'll touch on it. We'll touch on it. I got it in there. I got it in there. I just,
Yeah,
one thing I will say is
mhm.
that I had a little bit of higher expectations, but due to like some injuries and some guys that weren't aggressive enough, Jimmy Butler, um, their teams didn't do so hot. But I'll tell you one guy that was aggressive that lost 4-1. Donovan Mitchell was aggressive as
Mitchell.
hell. He was aggressive as hell in the Pacers, and I got to give since we didn't do a podcast in like the last couple of weeks, I got to give a special
Like,
shout out to Jason Tatum and
yeah,
hot recovery. I know he's got a long road ahead of him with the Achilles tear, so prayers up to you,
you
my
would know
boy.
you would know a little bit about that, don't you?
Yeah, I would. I would. I ruptured my Achilles too, fully ruptured. I mean, he's a top notch athlete. I was what 29, 30 years old playing basketball at a block party against a 15-year-old, and I tore my Achilles tendon. So he's worth much. He's got a lot more money than me to heal and come back. But I'm pretty sure he'll come back a lot faster, a lot stronger than he was. We know some guys around that age. I mean, like Kobe Bryant came back just as strong, just as good. Um,
Well,
when he had this surgery.
I think truth be told, Kevin Durant is probably the
Another
only
one too.
he's probably like the only player to like literally tear his Achilles and his numbers get better after the
Yeah.
tear. I I don't I don't know if you saw it, but like people were saying uh like I guess they like trying to put an asterisk next to the Knicks beating the Celtics, and it's like no, like you were no, you were losing with Tatum. So you losing to Tatum in game what was that, game three, game four,
Hmm.
didn't was not gonna negate when you lost this series. Like whether or not you lost, it just changed to a matter of when. And on the
Yeah.
like we'll just get right into it on the Cavs side. Like you said, Donovan Mitchell was special, spectacular, but Donovan Mitchell also has never been to the conference finals, and he's had ample opportunities to do so. That series, remind me, that went 5-2, right? That went five
Four
games.
one, 4-1 Pacers.
The
Um,
the
remember Darius Garland was out for a couple games, first two games, I believe in the series.
um
Um,
here's why I don't want to hear that
Cavs,
though.
I no, I totally get it. I totally get it. They're number one seed for a reason.
It's
You
not
know,
just it's not just that though, like bro, like so in 5 games, right? All 5 games, the Cavs had double digit leads in all 5 of them. You
mm,
only won one. You had a double digit lead in game one. You had a double digit lead in game two. You had a double digit lead in game three. That's the only game you won. You had one in game four, and you had one in game five. And 4 out of the 5, the Pacers walked you down, took the lead, and won the game. Like that's what's not being talked about enough.
that's very true. That's very true. I mean, the Pacers. The Pacers have been a buzzsaw all postseason though. I mean,
Matt, Matt,
they've only lost what two games this postseason. Um, they dog walked Milwaukee too.
and
You
that
know,
was in 5, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Yeah. So like true, like and what's also not been told, like they outside of Cleveland, they've also had like, I think since the All Star break, they've had the second best record in basketball too. Like they've been up to this point, they're like 40, 43, including the playoffs, are like 40, 43, 44, and 16.
We've been talking about them all season though. You know, we've been talking about how the Pacers they still had a strong start to the season, and then like just like every other team that got a strong start to the season, they kind of come back down the line. But this is a 50-win team,
Yeah,
and I
so like
mean,
the thing with the Pacers is like I don't think I mean I think next season will be different because like now this is like hey this is two postseasons in a row that y'all have gotten to the conference final. Like last season was kind of like quote unquote a fluke because every team they played got injured.
he got injured. Yeah.
Like the Knicks literally fell apart playing them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so this season, like you play the Cavs, like oh the Cavs had injuries. Like those injuries weren't like what's his name? Garland came back and played. Hunter came back and played. Mobley came back and played. Milwaukee, yeah, they lost Dame. They
It
uh
was it was
they
the other guys though for the Cavs that weren't stepping up.
that weren't
So
stepping up.
TJ,
Like Max Strus says, get on. Like Max Strus says, trust me in a win or go home situation and don't hit a basket. He went 0 for 9, bro. Like,
well, no, and it's guys like Ty Jerome who was great in the regular season, off the bench and everything, but he became a liability, especially against Halliburton. Trying to guard Halliburton, we saw Halliburton, steal game. What was it, game one or game two? On hit it right in his face.
it was
A step back three on Ty
yeah,
Jerome.
it was game two because
Game two, yeah,
Donovan Mitchell didn't box out and get a rebound.
exactly, yeah, exactly. So
And to this point, how we get to the Eastern Conference preview is how we get here. Like, hey, the Knicks been like the Knicks been balling. Like the Cavs or the Pacers been balling. Like this is a matchup of this. This should be a 7 game series. Like they match up perfectly with each other. And don't be yawning, bro. I still got to work tonight. I literally just woke up. I literally just woke up like a few minutes
I'm
ago.
sorry.
I had to. I
It's not
literally
that it's not that you're boring. It's not that you're boring or nothing. I literally just sometimes, man, my couch is comfortable and I had a long day too, so I'm just like sitting here. So I usually do the podcast standing up.
standing up. I know.
Yeah,
It's like,
at my
bro,
breakfast at my table over here,
it's like,
but
I had to go get me a coffee and everything, bro. Like it was the struggle was real. But
yeah, yeah.
like this is a like this you got OG and Pascal. They match up perfectly. You got Mikal Bridges and like Aaron Neesmith. Like they match up perfectly. Cat
Oh,
Turner, Cat and Turner, they match up. Or whether it's Mitchell and Turner, they match up. Brunson,
mhm.
Halliburton. It's a perfect matchup across the board. Like the only thing I give the Pacers an edge over is coaching. I think Rick Carlisle is a better coach than Tom Thibodeau. Respectfully, you feel me? And
Respectfully, because he'll well. Here's the thing. I think Rick Carlisle has trust more in his bench than Tom Thibodeau has trusted in New York. I mean, let's be real. I mean, the only two guys that are going to come off the bench that are going to play are Mitchell Robinson and Deuce McBride
and Deuce
from the
McBride.
Knicks. For the Knicks, everybody else,
This
it's
should
either
definitely be a precious Achua series.
well. That's if like Carl Anthony Towns gets into foul trouble against guys like Siakam or guys like Miles Turner. Oh, but when you look at the Pacers, I mean they're bringing off a guy,
They can
and
go 10 deep. They
they
can
can,
go
they
10
can
deep.
go. They can go take you. You're bringing T.J. McConnell. You're bringing Benedict Mathurin off the bench. You're bringing Obi Toppin off the bench. You're
Ben
bringing
Shepherd.
Ben Shepherd off the bench. I mean, so you're going. They're going 9, 10 deep. Who's the other? Thomas Bryant. They're bringing him off the
Yeah,
bench.
he'll play. He'll
So,
play.
so and he'll play. And I'll tell you one guy that Benedict Mathurin. I know like last series he had a little some with DeAndre Hunter, and teams, especially like his defense has not been the best since he's gotten the league. He's gotten better, but against the Knicks, they'll look to kind of expose that a little bit. But man, he's torched the Knicks this season. He's averaged 25 points a game in the regular season against the Knicks. And so I don't know how Rick Carlisle's going to play him a little bit, since being like he doesn't want the Knicks guys to kind of get going a little bit, especially like Brunson. They'll throw Brunson on Mathurin when he's out there, and Brunson will
Um,
just go off. And so you got to kind of see how you're going to play. Because I honestly, obviously, I think Aaron Neesmith, and it all depends on what kind of foul trouble Aaron Neesmith is in, what kind of foul trouble and
Andrew
Nembhard is
Nembhard.
Andrew Nembhard is in. And we're over here talking about the keys to the series. We didn't even get to it. We talking about the keys to the series. We touched on everything pretty much, besides Isaiah Stewart or whatever the heck his name is. His name's not is it Isaiah. Godly, his name's mistaking me from the Pacers. He's had a ruptured Achilles since the beginning of the year. None of these teams had key injuries. Actually,
No,
nobody in the Western Conference Finals or the Eastern Conference Finals has key injuries to their teams. Like they're fully healthy. Like all their stars, all their bench players,
but
they're
that's
all fully
yeah.
healthy. It's just
That
crazy.
and that also goes to like the battle of attrition, like the only the strong survive type shit, bro. Like it's like it shouldn't be a surprise that yeah the Pacers lost the Pacers the Cavs were hurt, therefore they lost.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's what happens. Like
Mhm.
the the Celtics lost their best player, therefore they went home and they went home early as opposed to possibly still playing. Yes, that's what happens. Like we see, it's a tale as old as time. Like what happened when the Nets played Milwaukee and it was literally just KD. Kyrie got hurt and Harden had to rush back from a hamstring injury. They lost because it was literally just KD, and what KD can only do so much. He's one person. So the fact that the four teams left are the healthiest shouldn't surprise
Anyone,
anyone.
to be honest with you.
And like so, like it really shouldn't. So like keys to the series, like it's yeah, we kind of touched on like, hey, if you're the Pacers, control like I ain't gonna say control, contain as best you can. Brunson, I think it's at the point where if you're Jalen Brunson or if you're an NBA fan or basketball fan in general, there's to me like there's nothing you can do to a Jalen Brunson. Like you can try to throw a bigger body on him, that shit don't work. Jalen Brunson's been seeing big bodies since high school. Like I'm not even joking. Like this is a dude who dropped like 45 on Jabari Parker and that Simeon team. They still lost, but the fact that this little dude was giving their asses buckets and the smallest dude on the court for that Simeon team at some point in time was Kendrick Nunn, who's 6'3". Jalen Brunson, he's probably listed at 6'1". That's a lie. Jalen Brunson ain't Jalen Brunson is not 6'1". Like so, you can throw the big bodies at him. You can throw the Matherins, the Nemhards, the Shepherds. You can throw the T.J. McConnells, the little ankle biters. Like you can throw them dudes at him, and goddamn it, hey, hope for the best. Like that's what it is. And on the Knicks side, slow the game down. You do not want to play. You do not want to get in a race. Like in a racing match with the Indiana Pacers, you will lose. You do not want to up tempo this thing, especially because y'all know y'all at minimum at most y'all playing seven dudes.
So here we go. I think for the Knicks, I think I got two quick keys for the Knicks. I think you have to protect that 3 point line. Especially against the Pacers.
Keep
They're the
going,
number.
keep going. I will be right back. I got to check on something.
Oh yeah. So for everybody, look, the Knicks are the number one 3 point shooting team in the postseason this season. They're shooting the ball at 40% from. I'll give you the exact 40.6% from 3 point from the 3 point land, and they're only taking 34 shots, which is middle of the pack of all the which is I think it's like eighth of all, it's ninth of all the teams. So they're shooting 34 threes. They're middle of the pack in shooting threes, but they're making 40% of them. And another thing is also they're getting in the paint, right? They're one of the top paint field goal percentage teams, top field goal percent in terms of 50%. So you got to keep them out the paint, and this is just pure analytics of the game now today, where it's three. You see either you're shooting a three or you get into the hole, and that's what the Pacers have been able to do all postseason long, and really all season. But this year, this postseason, they've taken it to another level as they're the top field goal percentage shooting team, top team in points in the paint, and top 3-point shooting team in the postseason. And then also
Hmm.
they're top five in the playoffs. They're top five in the playoffs in free throw percentage. So you have to keep them off the line because they're going to make their free throws. They're almost shooting at they're shooting 79.5% from the free throw line. That's tops out of everybody that's left in the conference finals. The Knicks are 75%, right? And
And
I think OKC is right under them at 78, and Minnesota's at 76.9. But
this
by
is
far,
free
Indiana
throw.
is the best free throw percentage shooting team. So I would say the Knicks need to do a great job of defending. Tom Thibodeau teams, great defensive teams, but they can be a little. They can be. I'm just saying, bro. They can be a little aggressive. They can be a little aggressive. And so you have to make sure that you keep Indiana out the line and make sure they don't get in the paint for those easy buckets. And you gotta defend the 3-point line. I think that's the key to the game for the Knicks, and I think for the Pacers, it's keeping the Knicks like don't like these first two games. You got to steal one in New York. You can't go to Indiana down 0-2. Because one thing is you gotta make Jalen Brunson a volume scorer. Make
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson a volume scorer. Make him take a lot of shots. And have him like if he's shooting 22 shots and only getting 25 points, you've done your job. You know what I mean?
there's a phrase for that, and they used it last night in the Thunder Thunder Wolves game. Yes, yeah, Thunder, and it was a guard in SGA. Like he had at one point in time, he had like 20 some field goal attempts, but also only like 23 points. So it was like he was basically getting like 1 point per shot. Like there's a phrase for it. I have to find it. If I find it, I'll put it in the group.
I
But
mean,
basically, no, like basically like that. No, that like that's what you're saying about Jalen Brunson. Like you can't. It's like pick your poison. Like he either gonna kill you at the line, or he gonna kill you by shooting the ball, and it can't be both. He can't be efficient, but also like 10 for 10 at the line. Like he can't that can't happen. And
yeah, and if he puts your guys in foul trouble, that's going to be an issue because you don't really. Besides Miles Turner out there, and then you get Thomas Bryant. Now when you go from Miles Turner to Thomas Bryant, not
mhm,
saying that Thomas Bryant
it's
is
not
not a
capable.
good player and not capable, but that's a large drop off
That's a large drop.
in terms of defensive ability in the paint. You
And
know what I'm saying,
then
TJ?
yeah, oh absolutely. And then check this out. Like say they both get in foul trouble, then who you
Who
put
you
at
got? Who you
Obi?
got?
They they
Obi?
they gotta run Obi at the five.
You
They
gotta run Obi at the five. Like,
they gotta run
oh,
Obi at the
they got
five.
the one kid. They got the one kid out of Houston, from a couple years ago. His name's
He ain't
escaping me.
playing. He ain't
Yeah,
playing.
but I mean, they throw him out there in garbage time. I mean, he's available.
That's garbage time, bro. Like garbage time, man.
He's available. Here, one thing I will say about the Pacers too is that these are they're blowing everybody out the water in these stats. +7. We just talked about 3-point percentage. They're +7% better than their opponent in 3-point shooting percentage in the playoffs so far, and they're +7.5 better in assists per game than their opponents in the playoffs. So that means that they're moving the ball, they're making the extra pass to get a good shot, which you see they're +6.1% better in field goal percentage too, TJ, because they're moving the ball, getting an extra shot. You know what I mean? Getting an extra pass in there to get a good shot.
See, like
So,
what I like about the Pacers style of play is like it's kind of like what you saw, what we saw from Boston last year, where when they got hot from like when they would shoot threes and they made a lot of them, everything else clicked. So like right now, first quarter is getting ready to come to an end. They've only shot in seven threes in the quarter. That's they're 3 for 7, right?
Right.
Rick Carlisle is also the type of coach where he's like, "Hey, stop shooting the damn threes. They not falling right now." Plus, they have the dudes that can like get inside and make shit easier for you. Like Tyrese Halliburton, we've seen it can break down the defense and get to the cup. Pascal Siakam can break down the defense and get to the cup. There you go, yawning
My
again, bro.
bad, my bad. I still gotta cook, y'all. I still gotta
Hmm.
cook after this.
So it's like if you're the Pacers, like I think that, and it's a real easy thing to do. Like no matter what team you are, like it's even with the Knicks, and they damn sure don't have the shooters that the Pacers do. We've seen teams like legit fall in love with the three and get
Mm-hmm.
away from everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I hate that. I despise. Oh shit, I despise that. And Rick Carlisle is like the type to like, yo, don't stop that. Stop shooting. Stop shooting that. Stop forcing it at
Stop
that.
forcing it. Exactly.
All right. Who are your X factors? Who are your X factors for the Pacers and the Knicks?
So obviously, man, I'm gonna just take out Jalen Brunson because he's averaged 28 points, almost
See,
30 points a game in the
that's the thing.
postseason for
That's
the
the thing. Like,
Knicks.
and I
I
hate.
don't.
And I'm sorry to cut you. Like, I like when the big sports shows do this. Like when the First Take or a like or back in the day like an Undisputed when it was still on TV, when they do shows, when they did topics like this, and they like who's your X Factor, they always pick like a Jalen. It's like no, of course, like he's not an X Factor. Of course he has to perform. We
He's
know he
supposed
has
to.
to. He's supposed to perform.
He's supposed to perform. I think my X factor's got to be Josh Hart, right? Because
I like that.
Josh Hart's gonna muck it up a little bit, man.
Hmm.
Josh Hart's his offensive rebounding. He's second in the team in lead rebounding in the postseason at 8.5 points per game. And he's what 6'4", 6'5", not even that,
Something
six
like
three,
that.
damn near something
Something like
like that. So Josh Hart's a guy that I mean, and also I think he's averaged against the Pacers in the regular season 20 points per game. So if his offense gets going, he's starting to rebound. He gets them second chance points by diving in, mucking it up a little bit. Josh Hart's a real
he
he resembles what New York City basketball is all about.
he get them
Hard,
Jason
tough
Kidd triple
nose.
doubles. He get them.
Yeah,
He get them JC
exactly.
Kidd triple doubles, the 10, 10, 10, 10 to 10, 10, 11 to 10. Like he get
And
them
it'll kill you.
right, and it's so annoying, bro. Like it's
And it'll kill you. And it'll kill you. Yeah, he's also averaging 5.2 assists. I didn't mention that as well. So he's doing it all for the New York Knicks this year, this postseason, 13 points per game as well. But yeah, Josh Hart, he's the heartbeat of the team. I mean,
yes,
this team gets all their energy and momentum from Josh Hart. When he lacks it, they lack it, and you see it
hmm
when he's out there hustling, rebounding, and I don't think that there's more of a Tom Thibodeau type of guy than Josh Hart. You know what I mean?
no,
Like he's like the prototypical Tom Thibodeau player. I'm gonna run you into the ground. I know what time. I know how many. I'm gonna play you every damn second. If Tom, gee, you know what Tom Thibodeau pissed me off the last series? Can I mention this? Gee, Tom Thibodeau, you're up 30 points per game, bro. Why
uh,
are you so mad?
for
Because fucking Boston goes on an 11-0 run with their fucking third stringers, and he's
well,
furious. And
it's
he was
the
about to leave them. He was about to leave the starters in until Rick Brunson went over there to like three times. Like, bro, come on, take him out, take him out, come on, take him out, bro. He left them in for like till like the 6 minute mark of the fourth quarter. I'm like, bro, they should
but
never even been playing.
it's
Like,
the so it's the age old adage. I wouldn't accept nothing in a win. I would in a loss. So his logic, well, first off, coaches like Tibbs, coaches like Larry Brown, those old school, hard nosed coaches like that, they are perfectionists in an imperfect game. There's no such thing as a perfect game in basketball because there's always going to be mistakes made and so on and so forth. So if you're Tibbs, like, all right, so imagine instead of you're up in his mind, yeah, we up 30 and they went on an 11-0 run. What if we was only up 15 and they
And they
went
went
on
on an 11-0 run. Right.
what if we was only up 12? What if we was up 6 and they went on that 11-0 run and now we down 5?
He's looking at, he's out there. He's like, what the
What do
F
you
are you guys doing? Like, dude, they're playing against the third stringers. They're gassed. OG Ananobi absolutely looked gassed. He's like, bro, come on, put
now
me out,
now
dog.
now
Put
now
me out.
for the sake of the parlay, I want them to stay in because I had some.
Man, man, I swear, OG would have hit two more points. I would have had another
I need
1,500.
I
The
needed
Knicks made
two
me
more.
1,600 that series, and I would have got another 15.
I think I needed
Shoot.
2 more points. I needed 2 more points from Jalen Brunson, bro. I needed him to score 25. He only scored 23. But at the end of the day, I'm like, damn. Them's the breaks. Them's the breaks. My,
And
my
who's your X factor for the
my
Knicks?
for the Knicks. Oh, I like your Josh Hart pick. My X factor, believe it or not,
It
it's
could be Josh Hart, or it could be anyone
no.
else.
Like no, truth be told, like because I was gonna say cat, but no, like that's another like quote unquote like expected like but like you have to perform. You cannot go into this thing and be outperformed by Miles Turner and or Pascal Siakam. Um, but
Yeah,
truth be told, my X factor for the Knicks is actually Deuce McBride.
that's a good one. That's a good one because Deuce, those non-Brunson minutes are
Those
just like.
are crucial,
Yeah, and Deuce comes in there, and if he and he's got a matchup against a tough backup point guard and TJ McConnell.
right?
Let's not
So
forget
so it's
that.
like so it's also like it's like you have to do more than just provide a
Scoring,
spell. Right? No, you're like I was just like you have to do more than just provide a
you gotta
spell
defend.
for Jalen Brunson. So it's like yeah, like you got to score, and I feel like as long as he's scoring or at least a scoring threat, Tibbs is comfortable with sitting Jalen Brunson at his normal intervals, right? So like
Hmm.
campaign is in right now, so it's like that's like first off, shout out Tibbs for even putting him in because it's like this is potentially gonna be a long series. So yeah, Deuce McBride is my X factor for the Knicks. Like he has to provide some kind of punch for them. My X factor for the Pacers is actually Pascal Siakam because Gilbert Arenas brought this up, and you Pascal Siakam has to be the guy that they traded for, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
Like like he feels like they're not getting what they invested in him when they traded for him from Toronto. Hey, because in Toronto he was the number one dude, especially after Kawhi left, right?
Right.
So, and they also, I don't know if they traded for him with the hopes of him being the number one guy uh, to Halliburton's number two or whatever, however they want to play that.
Hmm.
But Pascal Siakam, to me, Pascal can't average less than 20 a game this series. Like
I
Pascal,
agree. I agree. I agree. He's their leading scorer this postseason too, at 18.8 a game as well.
yeah, like brother, you gotta give me 25.
A game. I mean, we've been kind of waiting for Pascal Siakam, and this is the crazy part about Pascal is that now you're back here, bro. Like you are the only one, the only one on the floor on both sides of the basketball to
Mm-hmm.
know what it's like to get to the finals, to know what it's like to grind, and to be is an important part of your team. I mean, I just heard Draymond Green he was, albeit he was talking about Julius Randle, but he said, man, losing to Julius Randle, that was the second time I felt like
I
I
lost
lost
my
my
best.
playoff series. I lost my matchup in the playoff series. The first time was against Pascal Siakam in the finals. And so to have that type of praise from a Hall of Famer type player and Draymond Green, we know you got the goods. You know they're gonna need you because Halliburton sometimes can be too passive.
Too
You,
passive.
too passive, and when he wants to turn it on, he can turn it on. But it's just he's a true pass first point guard. So Pascal's gonna have to take advantage of the mismatches, that he has, either on Brunson or a smaller guard and Josh Hart. I know it's going to be tough. I mean, even I think he can get his stuff off against Mikal Bridges. Either I think he's what legit 6'10".
Yeah,
Um,
he's taller than Bridges.
yeah, he's taller than Bridges. He can get his stuff off, and he's stronger than Bridges. The only
Mhm.
guy that's going to be able to guard him really on the floor is Cat and OG
OG.
Ananobi. You know what I mean? So Pascal's gonna have to take advantage, and he can take advantage of Cat on the perimeter, and he could still get his shot over OG in a way. So I think my X factor, in my opinion, is look. I brought him up earlier. I thought Benedict Matherin's a good one at 25 points per game.
Hmm.
But here's another one. Here's one that I really think is going to be an X factor. It's Andrew Nemhard, in my opinion. Andrew Nemhard only averaged 5 points per game in the regular season series against the Knicks, and he played in all three games, started all three games, and he only averaged 5 points per game against the Knicks. They're going to need more production from him. And by the way, the Knicks won 2 out of 3 against the Pacers in the regular season series. So I gotta go with Andrew Nemhard as the X factor because I think if he's a guy that can get his shot going, he's making threes, he's making plays outside of Tyrese Halliburton. We already know Aaron Neesmith is more of a 3-and-D type of guy. But Andrew Nemhard is an X factor. He's a guy that can really, he can put it in the basket. He plays that Derek White kind of role that
Yeah,
for the Pacers that this guy does for the Celtics. There's a bunch of X factors for the Pacers because they go 10 deep. I can also, say, TJ McConnell coming off the bench, Obi Toppin. Both of those guys average 10 points per game, right? Off the bench. That's 20 points between both of those guys off the bench. If those guys can continue to score like that, I think the Pacers are going to be in great shape in against the Knicks. So we'll see. We'll see. There's a bunch of X factors, but I'm going Andrew Nemhard in this series. So I got predictions. This game is nip and tuck right now, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I
yeah.
think it's 39, 41 so far. I mean, we're looking at another high scoring. I mean, in the season series, both these teams never went under 100 points against each other in the season series. I think one game it was 132, 123 type of score. So both teams are combining to score 250 points. You know what I mean? So I think we're gonna see that type of series where you're gonna see a high offensive output. TJ, what's your prediction?
My prediction for Knicks Pacers. Oh, man. I'm going to go Knicks in 7. Would I be surprised if it was the other way around? Absolutely not. But the script writers.
Script writers. Is
But the
Reggie
script
Miller calling this game tonight? I haven't even turned it on yet.
Reggie Miller is this is on TNT. Reggie Miller is 9 times out of 10 probably calling this game. Yes.
Oh boy.
I also don't have my volume on, so because
Oh
I'm
boy.
yeah. So Reggie Miller is
You
likely
you you you
calling
gonna
this.
get a lot of biasness from Reggie Miller, and he gonna try and not be biased, but you gonna get a lot of biasness from Reggie. If the Pacers make the finals, bro, Reggie gonna be on that table with him throwing fists. You know what I mean? I guess my prediction. Um, I gotta go with New York.
So
I
you got
gotta go with New York, and I like it in 7 too, TJ. I think this is gonna be a great. I think it's gonna be the best playoff series. I think it's gonna be the best because I don't think the Western Conference. We'll get to the Western Conference Finals in a second. Hell, me and you probably gonna be. We got some beef in that one. Uh, we got some beef. We gonna talk it out. Um, so I got to go Knicks in seven just because of the basis. I think that in a one game series, I like Jalen Brunson to put them over the top. I like the star power of Brunson. I like Towns, and then having home court advantage helps. Playing in the Garden in a game seven is going to help them tremendously. But I think this is going to be the best series in all the playoffs. I mean, shoot, Golden State, Houston was a good one. The last one we just had with OKC and Denver, that was a good one. We had some great moments, but I think this one, when you talk about offensive output, I think both teams are going to score a lot of points in this series. You're going to see a lot of offense and a lot of fireworks, and I think this is going to go 7 games, and I think and I think even the 7 game, I think all games are going to be close in this series. Not one game is going to be, a blowout in my opinion. So that's that. That's that. Anyways, moving on to the Western Conference Finals, and OKC's already up 1-0 on Minnesota, and so yeah, how they both got there. Thunder defeated the Nuggets 4-3 in a 7 game series. Blew them out in the 7th game. Timberwolves defeated the Warriors 4-1. We could touch base a little bit on this on those two series. I'll let you go, TJ. Start with the Thunder and the Nuggets series, 7 games. Thoughts on that series?
Uh, like I said in the group chat, me personally, I don't think that series had any business going seven. Outside of Jokic, it was really, especially like later down the line. Like I mean, Eric Gordon didn't get hurt till what games the end of game 6, and he was virtually ineffective in game 7. Like the dude couldn't run like he couldn't sprint, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, like so like they are. Oh, they lose a game and SGA is smiling after losing, and everybody's like, "See, he ain't worried. He ain't worried." And it's like, no, it shouldn't have went. That series legit. That series should have went 5. It should have been Thunder in 5. I'm being 100% like Jokic. Like Jokic is Jokic. He gonna get his. He gonna get his. Michael Porter Jr. was playing with basically one arm. The dude he's playing with one arm. Russ is Russ. You don't know what Russ you gonna get. Like he might do some brilliant shit one play and then literally turn around and do some dumb shit the next play. That's just Russ as we know and love him.
Russ had a great first 2 games in this
He had
series,
a
and then he
great
just
first 2 games and then
and
we
then he
didn't
just fell off, man. He just fell off. I don't know what happened, man.
like game 1 was probably one of the most
He was
poor
hyped up.
game 1 was probably one of the most poorly executed situations I've ever seen by a coach. And he like don't like he what he did what Dag how Dagno operated that situation, like it was the right thing to do. It just was executed poorly. Like you're fouling too quick, you're doing all this like and all the other shit, like you missing free throws, like you fouled yeah, they fouled Chet. Chet is usually a comfortable free throw shooter. Like you can trust him to make 2 free throws. He misses both of them, and then like people want to blame SGA for not playing defense. Like no, he did it right. Like bro, Russ got the ball and he coming at him 100 miles an hour, and then Russ did what the good shit Russ do. He kicks it out to Aaron Gordon. And if you're the Thunder, you live with that. You live with Aaron Gordon shooting that 3. He just so happened to fucking make it. Am I right or wrong? Like, bro, like think about in that situation. If that's Jamal Murray or Jokic or even Michael Porter Jr., you legit have trust, faith in all 3 of them more than Aaron Gordon shooting that 3. True or false?
No, 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 you're right.
That's so. It's like and the game 7. Obviously, it's a fucking blowout. But we know the circumstances. Aaron Gordon is hurt. Murray is I don't know what the hell that was. Jokic is Jokic, and that game kind of showed why Calvin Booth lost his job. Like that one right there, it's like damn, they literally have no depth. I feel like Aaron Gordon, outside of it being a game 7, Aaron Gordon had to play because it's.
So, so here's my rebuttal, everybody. I'm sorry to cut you off,
Go
but
ahead.
I can't keep going on with this.
Oh my
So
God, bro.
TJ keeps okay. So look, y'all not in our group chat, and so we give you the tea of what I be saying, what everybody be saying. So I came out and I said, look, and I still believe this. I still believe that to win multiple championships, you're not gonna win one next to SGA with Jalen Williams, J
But
Dub, and
hold on,
so
real
and
quick,
so it's
real
okay.
quick. To combat that point, in order to win multiples, guess what you got to do first?
You got to win one
You got
first,
to win
okay?
one.
Okay, you got to win one first. I still think if you could package up J Dub some assets, you still got that. You drafted the one kid, Nikola Topic last year. God, Lee, they still got first round pick at the first round pick. You
Mhm. It's
package
a
that up to
look.
Milwaukee.
It's
You
a
package that
couple
up to
first
Mo,
round. They
bro.
have a couple first round picks that's not playing for whatever reason.
Bro, you package that up to Milwaukee. Yeah, they got the 1 7 footer that was Chet Holmgren before Chet Holmgren from Croatia or whatever. I forget
No,
what
he
the heck his name was.
Pokashevsky. No, he ain't even
Poku. Is
that no
he?
more. I don't
He's
even
not
know what.
even there. Oh yeah, he's somewhere else. He's somewhere else. My bad. But anyways, dude. So I still think you try to make a trade for Giannis, and I know it takes away a little bit of shooting at that position, but I don't give a rat's ass, right? I don't care. You put Giannis next to Chet, next to SGA, next to whoever the hell else you gonna bring in some more vets because they are a young team. When it's all said and done, Caruso's young. I TJ got on me because I said they did prove something by beating the Denver Nuggets. Yes, they did. And so when TJ says, "Oh, they ain't got no depth," I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on." Russell Westbrook. Okay, the only depth that you lost was KCP, right? And you also lost who else did I mention?
They lost KCP. They lost Bruce Brown. They lost.
Bruce Brown, who both have really been underwhelming on their
They
new teams,
lost. They lost
right?
Ish. They lost Ish Smith. They lost Reggie Jackson.
Oh well, Reggie was big, but Reggie kind of fell into the
Um,
stables a little bit.
it
But you
was. It
add
was, it was
you
quite a few.
but
It was quite a
Christian Brown has gotten better. His scoring has gotten much better. His output's gotten better. Peyton Watson is a 2 way player, legit, really good young 2 way player. And then you add a future Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook on the bench. Yes, you replace that production. Yes, they did prove something because you beat a 3 time MVP in Nikola Jokic. You beat a guy in Jamal Murray who torches teams in the playoffs and in elimination games. I think he's like averaging like 29 point something points per game in the playoffs in elimination games. Jamal Murray is not to be played with in the playoffs, and they beat the Nuggets, who just won the NBA championship. Because that was my thing. I brought up that they just beat them. Hell yeah, they proved something. And you say like they lost this guy, that guy, this guy. I'm like, well, they replaced him with this guy, that guy, and this guy. This team won the championship 2 years ago, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
OKC proved to me that they are ready to move over the hump, and that's why when I get to my predictions, TJ already knows where I'm going. I already told him what my prediction was already 2 days ago, so he already knows where I'm gonna go with it. But yeah, y'all probably will be shocked, but I don't care. I don't care. We can keep rolling. We can keep rolling.
Okay.
I'm just
Anyway,
saying.
so like the storylines in this one, outside of what just got announced today, obviously SGA wins his first MVP. Congrats to him.
Congrats.
Well deserved, might I
Yes, sir.
add. So like
Would he
the
have
other,
won it? Hold on. Would he have won it if he didn't beat the Nuggets though?
yeah, because it's still a regular.
Did the voting already go through before that season was the series was over with?
Yeah. The regular
Oh no.
it's a regular season award.
Yeah.
Again, I stayed like so. Just real quick, this is just my little my thought process behind the MVP award. Because remember, like for the longest, it went to the best player on the best team, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw that for years. I think it changed when Russell Westbrook won his MVP because he did something historic. Like
Mm-hmm.
he averaged a triple double for a whole season, but the Thunder were a 4 seed, so it's like that was like the first time in like a I don't know how long that a player wasn't a top three seed on the top three seeded team and won the MVP. So like when you do that, it changes a new precedent is now set. So like, that allows for a guy like a Jokic to win the MVP as a three seed and so on and so forth. So like SGA, the Thunder were the best team in the league, wire to wire, right? There was well in the West that is like wire to wire. So him winning his MVP is great. The other storyline going into this is we got two young dudes vying for probably something that's more prestigious than the MVP, and that's face of the league. So if you're SGA and you're Anthony Edwards, yeah, a trip to the finals is on the line, but something else is also on the line. Like who's going to be the face of the league? And I know Anthony Edwards has said he doesn't want to be the face. Newsflash, man, you don't get a say. Like you
You
don't.
don't get to say. You think LeBron, Jordan, all them wanted to be? Well, LeBron actually did want to be face of the league, but you think all them other dudes wanted to be the face of the league? No, they was chosen.
Like that's a heavy mantle to bestow. Like I tell the story all the time where it's the redeem team, right? They're going to Beijing for the Olympics. Obi Toppin just smoked a dunk. Um, they go to Beijing for the Olympics. They get off the plane. Now by this point, Kobe had literally just won the championship. LeBron has won two MVPs, and LeBron is thinking like, "Oh, I'm finna do this." Like he was not expecting Kobe everything to be everywhere. It's Kobe Bryant jerseys. It's Kobe Bryant's face. It's all this stuff. Just it's just Kobe everywhere, and they were just mesmerized by it. So it's like people don't want to admit it, but yeah, at one point in time, Kobe Bryant was the face of the league, and when they went to Beijing in 2008, damn it, it showed. So like, if you're Anthony Edwards, you become the face of the league. Your face is everywhere.
Hmm.
It's almost like, and if you're the NBA, you kind of hope it is SGA. Why? Because SGA is quiet. He don't make no headlines. He ain't quote unquote problematic. We know the issues with Anthony Edwards off the court with all the baby mamas and all the other good stuff.
Mm.
But truth be told, like bro, Anthony Edwards is this generation's to an extent Allen Iverson. You remember how AI used to be
Hmm.
staying out till 3, 4 in the morning, partying,
Partying,
and
being with all the no good girls, like your mama say.
like, but then, but at this, but it's not just that
Little
though.
fast girls.
It's it's not just that though. It's bro, like it's how he dressed going to the games. It's he on the court warming up wearing the do rag and chains, and he got a Mother's Day classic. He getting his hair braided on the sideline by his mama during the halftime. It's like, bro, who does that? Allen Iverson. So it's like if you're the lead on some corporate shit, you're hoping it's SGA.
So I think the way this game going, the way the game is going, how international is going, I still think it's Victor Wembanyama out of everybody, in my opinion. But Victor Wembanyama isn't playing in the playoffs, and he ain't vying to win his first title.
That's what it
Somebody,
is.
one of these young dudes is gonna win their first title, whether that's Tyrese Halliburton, Jalen Brunson, um, uh, SGA
SGA
or
or it.
Anthony Edwards. You know what I mean? So one of these guys is gonna win their first title. Most of these guys are actually gonna win their first title. Besides, Pascal Siakam, and
Pascal
maybe I can
Siakam.
I can name some other guys. Maybe if I look at the rosters, but yeah, I do totally agree with you on that. You don't have a say so on who you are as the face of the league. And right now, I mean, a lot of people, there's always a discussion. Oh, why ain't they Ja? Well, come on now,
Come on now.
come on now. And
Or
so
Tatum.
Ja did it himself. Tatum could be, but Tatum's too reserved. I think the Celtics are going to get blown up. So we're talking about, man, the NBA landscape.
Oh, that's
I've never seen.
that's a
That's another time. That's a
hey,
whole another topic for another day, because I never seen one injury is going to change the whole landscape of the NBA the next 2 years or so. But anyways, I'll touch on the the keys to the series for the Timberwolves.
Hmm.
I mean, we saw it, in the first game. I mean, you gotta be able to not let OKC. This is the thing. OKC is probably the best defensive team left in the playoffs.
They
They are probably the best, and they don't shoot as many threes as other teams. They're the one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, in general. But
these are the top two teams, yeah. Like, because Minnesota defense. I'm sorry to cut y'all. Like Minnesota's defense, we ain't finna sit here
oh yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah. Obviously, yeah. Because they got dogs over there. Rudy Gobert,
say
Jay McDaniels, Nikhil Alexander Walker, Anthony Edwards is a great defender. I mean, they got defenders all over on Minnesota. But when you talk about OKC, they turn you over the most. They have probably the best on ball defender. And I'm talking about when you talk about one of the best defenders, pure defender, basketball defenders, it's Alex Caruso, and it's not even close. And he's on OKC. He's a menace when it comes to on ball defending, and we know how that went. I miss AC a lot. You know what I mean? And so when it comes to this series, you gotta make sure they don't turn you over, and they don't. You gotta stop the runs. You cannot. And OKC goes deep. I mean, other than
they go
Indiana,
10 deep.
OKC goes legit 10 deep. That's why I love Mark Dagno. He said, "This is what got us here. I'm sticking to my guns. I'm not changing up. I'm not shortening up the rotation. I'm playing all 10 guys. You know what I mean? And they gonna let it fly. You know when you get Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins, they coming off the bench. They gonna let it fly, bro. You know what I mean? AC gonna play. AC starts, but he gonna play that defense. Jalen Williams is going the other Jalen Williams. He's gonna give you some minutes off the bench to spell. Chet Holmgren and Hartenstein. So look, all I gotta say is, man, you gotta stop. Oh, you can't let OKC go on those 11-0 runs, those 10-0 runs, because then it's bye bye time. You know what I mean? And that's what I think Denver did a really good job at in the
until they
last series
until they couldn't.
until they couldn't. Yeah, they did a really good job at stopping the bleeding. Like OKC would go on some runs, like 6, 7-0 runs, 9-0 runs, like even 8-0 runs, and then Denver would combat it back with 5, 6, 7 of their own.
Right.
8 of their own, 9 of their own. You know what I
I
mean?
I think, and obviously we might as well address it right now. The elephant,
SGA too. Yeah,
not
getting him,
not
staying,
the
keeping
not,
him off the line.
not the elephant in the room, but like just address it because I kind of touched on it on first take. I'll listen to it tonight. The calls that he gets, like like, hey, it's
That's
getting
Scott
to a
Foster
point.
next new. Hey, TJ. Not to cut you off, but that's Scott Foster new favorite player right there.
Like, it's getting to a
Bro, every
point.
time, every time Scott Foster reps his games, you just know he's gonna get on the line 10 times a game.
Like
You just know it.
it's getting to a point where even Thunder fans are on social media where it's like, and like and the fact that they have to preface it, it's like, yeah, I'm a Thunder fan. They be like, that wasn't a foul. Like, he's tripping on his own 2 feet sometimes, falling down, and he's getting a foul call. And the thing I hate about it is it's almost like the national media is afraid to critique the officiating, because like ESPN has, like, they show these games, they have like the deal they have with the NBA. Woo, woo. It's almost like the big talking pundits, the Stephen A's, the Kendrick Perkinses, the Morris twins, because now they kind of transitioning into their second part of their professional careers, and Reggie Miller. It's like it feels like they are afraid to say what the average fan says. And like, remember how we used to complain about Trey Young, like how he would like do it, they run the pick and roll and he would just stop and then jump back into the defender and get a foul call. Like, and the NBA finally said, like, yeah, you can't do that shit no more. Like, stop it. This shit with SGA,
Hmm.
it's like, we see it like, truth be like, bro, if we being 100% honest, dead ass, SGA could foul out in the first 10 minutes of a game if they called him for them little push offs he be doing.
Oh man, he pushes off a lot.
He
He
pushes
does
off
push
a
off a lot.
lot.
It's so ingrained in his game though, in his film. He does it so much and he does it sneakily so much that no NBA, and I hate it because NBA officials are so completely biased. It's like they watch the film on these guys and they know they're pushing off. They know it's a push off, but they're like, oh, that's how he gets his 30 points a game. So we ain't
Right.
gonna call
We
it.
ain't gonna
You
call it.
know, we ain't gonna call it because he does that all the time. You know what I mean? It's pretty egregious how much he does push off a lot and how much. I mean, dude, like he like you said, man, he'll bait the other team into he'll get the foul, bait the other team, and it's like, damn, he's the one that actually
He
fouled the
can
other team.
right. He initiated the damn so
He
like basically
finished.
so like SGA is the free throw merchant that everybody claims Jalen Brunson to be. Like and it's kind of sad because it's like, and we kind of saw it in the first half last night, like when he was struggling from the field. He's like
Oh boy.
he had 11 points, but it was mostly at the line. So it's almost like you're literally only in this game because because of your free throws, bro. Oh damn, he wide the fuck open.
Oh, you talking about Halliburton, right? Yeah. Halliburton was super
Yeah,
wide
and
open.
he
And he
and he
jagged it.
missed. So
Yeah,
like
he jagged it.
my X factor for these guys, um, because like your keys to the series, like we pretty much had the same one. Like keep SGA off the free throw line, match their if you're the Thunder, if you're the
Well,
Timberwolves, match their scoring.
I went back and looked at it, bro. Do you know OKC is plus 4.1 in steals? That's why I said the on ball defense, bro. They are like the next team in the playoffs that
That's
is closest to them is the
that's who,
Knicks,
bro.
and
They
that's
get a
plus
lot.
one.
Hey, they get away with a lot of slapping and grabbing, bro. Like we saw it in that Thunder in that the series against the Nuggets. They get away with a lot of grabbing, pulling, and slapping, and
I
that's
know their turnover differential is by far the best in the NBA. It's the best in the playoffs right now. And that's why I say they're like one of the best defensive teams. And they're obviously their points per game differential because they just blow teams out, um, all year. But yeah, I mean, I think, and then I think my keys to the game for OKC against Minnesota is to it's the same thing as the last one where I say make Jalen Brunson a volume scorer. Make
yeah.
Anthony Edwards a volume scorer. Everybody else can eat except Anthony Edwards. Because when Anthony Edwards is eating and then everybody else start eating, like I'm cool with Julius Randle getting 27 points per game.
I'm not.
If no, I'm cool with Julius Randle getting 27 points in a game if Anthony Edwards is only getting 18. You know what I'm saying? Like if no, and then I'm not scared of nobody else. I'm definitely not scared of Rudy Gobert. We got Hardenstein for him. We got I ain't gonna say Chet, but we got Hardenstein for him. And the only reason I don't say Chet is because I think Rudy's just stronger. But Chet's the guy that just he'll torch Rudy on the
But at the same
perimeter.
no, but at the same time, like that's kind of the conundrum that you're in if you're the Thunder. So like who like we already know the front court is like
And then
who's
Jaden McDaniels, I ain't scared of Jaden McDaniels.
but at this just like all right, but check it out though. Who do you trust? Who would you rather have Hardenstein guard, Randall or Gobert?
He,
Randall.
I think,
He's
well,
he got to
well,
guard
he's
Randall
he's gonna have to guard Randall,
because put Chet
because Chet
with.
well here we go. Yeah, well Randall's gonna get into his chest. Rudy Gobert is not an offensive threat, and then also that matchup with Rudy on Chet, where it's like Chet's gonna pull Rudy out of the lane.
But
You know what I'm saying?
Rudy has got especially like this is kind of what we've been asking for from Rudy Gobert. Like he can like hey, this is the best I've seen him be a perimeter defender since he's probably been in the league. Like and
Mm.
that's that and that's that. It's like last season did him a disservice because fans are ruthless, and we saw we saw what Luka Doncic did to him, ignoring the fact that Luka Doncic literally does that to everybody. It does not
Yes,
does not matter who guards him.
yes,
So like
yes. You right about that. You right
so like
about that.
I'm comfortable with Rudy Gobert guarding Chet on the perimeter. Like I can live with that. My X factor for the
Oh boy.
Timberwolves is Jaden McDaniels. Like you're gonna have obviously you got your hands full. You're gonna have to guard SGA. You're gonna have to guard SGA on top of giving us. You got to give us at least 15 points a game, bro. Like you're guarding SGA, and you're gonna have to give us some kind of scoring punch. So like yeah, and for the Thunder, it's got to be Chet. Chet Holmgren. Hey, bro, I need Chet to average a double double. I need Chet to give me 14 to 10.
He's very capable of doing that.
I need
I mean,
14.
I think he had double digit rebounds in like every single game except for like two of them. Um, him and Hardenstein are just they're both. That's one thing you can expect from them consistently is that they're both gonna crash the boards. They're gonna get 10 rebounds, and I think Chet's a really good long rebounder. You know, like teams that shoot off the three, like he knows how to track those rebounds down really good. It's the art. It's the art to rebounding. Dennis Rodman talked about it. It's the way the ball, and Draymond talks about it too. It's the way the ball comes off the rim, how the ball's looking, the trajectory of the ball coming off the rim. As a great rebounder or as a good rebounder, you should know. Andre Drummond talks about it. My bad. As a great rebounder, you know when those where those balls are going to be at. Because man, you talk about Andre Drummond, he's one of the greater rebounders in his generation. And so, but I think the X factor for Minnesota has got to be a guy like a Naj Reed, right? Because
I like that one too.
yeah, because outside of Anthony Edwards and Julius
Yeah,
Randle, we're looking for
like
that
scoreless.
third. We're looking for that third scorer that's gonna put the ball in the basket, and we're looking for the bench contributions because we already know OKC is gonna come with a strong bench between Isaiah Joe, Aaron
Mm-hmm.
Wiggins, you know what I mean, all those other guys, Jalen Williams, all those other guys that are gonna come off the bench, Kassan Wallace going to come off the bench as well, play strong for them as well. So
I got
you gotta have that
I
guy
got
coming off the
two.
bench.
I got two. So like it's like I got two for both of them. To be fair, it's like for the Timberwolves, I said Jay McDaniels, and I'm gonna throw Dante DiVincenzo in there. You gotta like y'all got to because I don't hate your Nas Reed pick, but he can't go scoreless against this team. Like he didn't hit a shot,
Yeah,
and
Vinny got to put the ball in the basket,
so
especially from three.
yeah.
When Ant collapses the defense and he dishes it out, you got to
Yeah.
make your open threes.
So I'm gonna go Jay McDaniels and Dante DiVincenzo for the Timberwolves, and for the Thunder, I'm gonna go Chet. And I know I've been like I ain't saying I've been quote unquote defending him, but Jalen with J Dub on the road. J Dub at home is fine.
I actually like that one, and I know that we've been kind of going with like guys that aren't like superstars. Look, J Dub's got to be the X factor. He's the X factor for me. And I know I'm going away from it a little bit, but J Dub is a guy that he's got to be he's got to play a lot better in this series, and he did play a lot better in game one, which is why they won pretty handily. He's got to play like that every single game in this series for them to advance to the NBA Finals. If he does, then I think that this is going to be a very easy series for OKC. And then I think my second key play X factor has got to be Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein, underrated rebounder in the league, underrated defender. He can defend on the perimeter. He's strong enough to defend Rudy Gobert, and he can get you double digit rebounds whenever he wants. Right. One thing you got when he's getting 10 points per game, they're very dangerous. You know what I mean? Like if Isaiah Hartenstein is in double digit, he's getting you a double digit points, double digit rebounds. That team's dangerous. I don't know what the record is when he does that, but I'm sure it's pretty damn good. I'm sure it's pretty damn good.
I
So
mean, I mean, shit, what they won? They won what 64 games, 68 games.
AC is another one. AC's another one because AC's gonna be on. AC's gonna be. He's gonna have the task of guarding Anthony Edwards too. Sometimes, SGA can't do it all game. He'll get tired. He'll tire himself out. Jalen Williams can't do it all games either. You know what I mean? So AC's Alex Caruso for y'all who don't watch basketball. Y'all watching this podcast. He's probably one of the best on ball defenders in the league. So I got to go AC. I got to go Isaiah Hardenstein. I got to go J Dub. There's a few guys, but I think the number one guy is J Dub for me. So that's
Yeah,
that.
I don't hate that.
What's your prediction?
Because they can, I think because they have more faith in their others than they do than Minnesota. I'm gonna go Thunder, and I think this is also going 7. I'm gonna go Thunder in 7. I also wouldn't be surprised if it went the other way around. So my prediction so far is Knicks Thunder in the NBA Finals, and then we'll get cross that bridge when we get to it.
Man, my prediction is Thunder in 5. I don't think this series is gonna be close.
Mm.
I knew I was gonna get some flack. Look, man, I just think it's a bad matchup for Minnesota. I just think they don't got enough. They don't got enough guys that's putting it in the basket. Like OKC got guys that's gonna put it in the basket. And I mean, they just got unicorns. I mean, you got guys like, when SGA is going to the free throw line, damn near, 10. Oh, look at Mary. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Hold on, Trap. Hey, anyways, let me finish this up. So yeah, I think when you got why they acting like this on TNT? I'm sorry, y'all. Why is Kenny doing that? He's stupid, crazy. I think when you look at OKC, they just they go 10 deep, so their starters are always fresh. They're always fresh, and all the time they're playing either SGA or J Dub, right? So when J Dub goes, when they obviously playing both on the floor, but when one of them goes out, one of them stays in, and then one of them gets fresh, comes back, takes them in, and then they kind of take that second unit and kind of lead them, right? So I think that right there, that philosophy from Mark Dagno keeps all of his starters, the rest of his starters outside of those other two guys, and just mainly all 5 of his guys. It keeps them fresh. And so when you got guys like Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, I know he didn't play much against Denver. I mean, he played his normal 15 minutes or so. But
Mm.
these are guys. Isaiah Joe is a guy that, I mean, he can average 15 points on a team easily, shooting like if he was a starter. Aaron Wiggins, I honestly think Aaron Wiggins is a 20 points per game scorer starter in this league. I highly I think really highly of that guy, man. And I think he could put it in the basket anytime if they need him to put it in the basket. He can do more than just stretch you out and shoot the three. So I think it's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup with Rudy Gobert, with trying to guard Chet on the perimeter. I mean, and then you got Randall trying to guard Chet. Chet's got what? How many inches over him? When he gets it in the post, he could just shoot over Randall. I mean, he lacks in strength, but he could shoot over him. And like you said,
Chet's what,
7'2", 7'1", 7'2".
7'2". Randall
Yeah, Randall's what, 6'6", 6'8", 9.
about 3 to 4 inches shorter.
Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah. He's about 4 or 5 inches shorter than him. So you get that shot over him. I just think this is a bad matchup. I think the guard play for OKC is a lot stronger than Minnesota. They turn they turn teams over way too much. I think Minnesota, and then I'm a little concerned about Anthony Edwards' little ankle injury that he had. I know he came back, but he didn't look the same as what he did against Golden State. I'm
But
sure a day's rest would do better for him, but
and I think it's because like he was even battling that against the who the hell did they just beat
the Warriors.
against the Warriors. So it's like it's Aaron Gordon kind of touched on that too, like the lack of quote unquote the lack of rest in between not just games but in between series. Like it used to be.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
like this is probably like the longest, especially for the the Wolves because they beat the Warriors so quickly. They beat them at 5. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're the Thunder, this is your. No, I take that back. That was the Nuggets. Like especially if you're the Nuggets, like looking at it from their point of view, they had 14 games in the playoffs because they both their series went 7. So they were exhausted.
Right. Right. They were exhausted. You right. Very that damn right on that. So we'll see. But he's got OKC. We both got OKC. We kind of actually are in agreement. OKC and the Knicks. That's gonna be a hell
I
of a
just
finals.
I just said
We'll
OKC.
talk
I'm
about it.
just saying OKC at
Oh,
7.
you don't know yet. You kind of a little teeter in the way.
I'm going.
Hopefully, think both series will go game 7. We'll come with another podcast just to talk about that. When it comes down to it, man. But anyways, man, that's been this edition of the
So
crossover.
I,
Go
I
ahead, bro.
I asked this question in the group chat. So like, and it was literally just off the two off the Pacers and the Knicks. So like, it was if the Knicks win the title, is Jalen Brunson the best Knick ever?
Hell no.
If the Pacers win, is Halliburton the best Pacer ever?
Fuck no.
If the Thunder win, does SGA take over for KD as the best member of the Thunder? Well, considering the history between the Sonics slash Thunder, is SGA the best player in their history if they win the chip?
Maybe.
It's a conversation, right? That's more of a conversation than the other two.
Absolutely.
Is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I think Tyrese Halliburton. Well, yeah, if he wins one, I mean that's what their first championship ever.
Ever.
Am I putting him over Reggie Miller? Fuck, hell no. Come on, man.
I think
For
I
all that
think
Reggie did in this game for this game,
I
and
think
then I can't put Brunson over guys like Willis Reed. I can't put Brunson over Willis Reed. What?
okay.
I can't put Brunson over Clyde. Uh, um, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's fair. That's fair. So
Clyde Frazier. I can't put him over Clyde Frazier.
and then I'm not even gonna ask like bro like Anthony Edwards over KG. I can't do that one
well,
because like
if Ant does win, is he
because
the
like
best Minnesota Timberwolf ever?
yeah
Probably. I mean, if you win a title, yeah, you are gonna be the best.
because like here's the
You
thing
know what
like
I mean?
I'm looking at it like the adversaries that people that they have to run into, right? So
Hmm.
if you're Kevin Garnett, eventually you was gonna run into either Tim Duncan, you was gonna run into Kobe, you was gonna run into Kobe and Shaq, like you was gonna run into something like that. If you're the Knicks, you was gonna like Patrick Ewing, you was gonna run into Mike. There was no
Right.
there was no avoiding it. Same thing with Reggie Miller. Like you was gonna run into Mike. There was just no way avoiding it. Melo, you was gonna run into LeBron. There was just no way of avoiding it. Looking at it this go around, like who they don't have like there's not that one player in today's NBA who has that stranglehold over them. Like if you just look at Anthony Edwards' track record, like some of the guys he's eliminated in the last 3 years, right? The guys that were so called, well, I'm gonna say so called, the guys that used to be heavy hitters, well, albeit they're old now. KD, LeBron, Steph, like niggas old. They still hooping at a high level, but they old.
They is old. They is old.
So like this is quote unquote the new changing of the guard, and I think the NBA is welcoming that. So I think that's the answer to the face of the league thing. I don't think they're gonna do one person. I think they're gonna do a. It'll be easier to do a collective. So yeah, get the Tatum's, get the SGA's, get the Anthony Edwards, get the Wembenyamas, get the Cooper Flags because he coming.
Cooper Flag is coming. Cooper
Like
Flag's coming. Cooper Flag coming to Dallas too, and playing with freaking Kyrie and Anthony Davis.
trio.
What a luck of the draw they got, right? Our management can't even get a freaking coin toss,
Can't
right? But
win the
that's
coin
that
toss.
that's neither here or there. It is shoot. They even said like if Josh Giddey didn't make that shot against LA, we would have had that pick. So man, you know they knew what was happening, man. They knew what was happening. You got rid of Luca. Now we got to get you Cooper Flag. You know what I mean? But anyways, that's neither here or there. We'll talk about that another time. But y'all, please like, share, and subscribe to the podcast. We'll be back here soon. Y'all stay up. Catch us on our podcast for podcasts can't be heard. And you know what? In case I miss you, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I'm signing off. I'm Israel Red. That's CJ Hopkins. See y'all later. And enjoy the rest of y'all night, man.
I see you, man.
Peace out, brother.